Some coins are made with mistakes, which makes them worth a lot more to coin collectors. Up to $150 each for these coins. Rotation errors on this particular coin. So we'll jump in and have a bit of a look from the Renix Australian pre-decimal and decimal coin errors book. So this is a good book, good reference book to find out the sorts of minting errors that can occur on coins, which makes them more valuable to coin collectors. So this publication, I've got a link to this publication on my link tree. It's about the 13th or 14th option down on my link tree through the link in my account if you want to pick this book up from the Renix website. So that's where they sell them, and it's a good guide. But we'll jump straight into it. So we'll go straight to the page that I'm referring to, and it's the upset dies on the 2001 $1 coins. So I'll grab what it's supposed to look like. So this coin right here, we'll zoom right in. So this, the Centenary of Federation $1 coin. And what's supposed to happen when you hold the coin at the top and the bottom with everything up right here, when you turn it around, the Queen's nose is supposed to be pointing straight across to 3 o'clock. So you see the point of the nose right there, pointing to about 3 o'clock on the clock. So that's the way that it's supposed to be on all of the Queen's head coins. Now, what happened with these, it's called rotation or rotated coins or upset dies. So the die is the thing that strikes the detail onto the coin. So it strikes the detail on this side and then also strikes the detail on this side. So what happened, one of the locking pins can shear off, can break off, and it can cause the die to sort of rotate around and punch the detail into the coin in a different direction. So it can happen on different years, but it's known more on particular years. So this one here, the 2001 $1 coins, it can face in different directions. So look at this one right here. So it says 1 here. So when I turn this coin around, the Queen's nose will be pointing to about 1 o'clock. So up there to 1 o'clock. This one right here, this one says 5, so when I rotate this one around, it points to about 5 o'clock on the clock. And what people like to do, they like to try and collect each hour of the clock for these coins. Now, it can get a little bit expensive because a recent selling price range on them, like I mentioned before, down here on the coin value list I've got. So the coin value list, most people probably know about it now, but on the coin value list available through the link in my account that I've researched all the recently selling prices, $45 to $150 is a recent selling price range on those coins, what they've sold for recently. So if you want that list, you can get that list right there, but that's how much they cost. And I've been grabbing a few every now and then to try and get my clock of directions that they face. So this is where I'm at. I'll show you. So I'll move the book aside and I'll show you what I'm up to right now. And I've actually just purchased a couple more that will be coming in the mail. So here we go. I've got 1 o'clock. I think we saw this one just a moment ago, didn't we? So 1 o'clock facing up there. I've got, well, 3 o'clock is what everyone will have in their chain. So whenever you see this coin in your chains, this is the way it's supposed to be. And I'm lucky that this one's in really nice condition. So there we go. We've got the 3 o'clock. What else have I got? I've got 5 o'clock. We've got 10 o'clock. Just try and get the right zoom, but 11 o'clock. 12 o'clock. And what's handy is some people do it in different ways, where they sort of try to advertise the direction. They say 90 degrees and all these sorts of things. So it can get a little bit confusing when you see people selling them. And that's why I like to try and use this method of putting it into a holder like this, which holds the coin so that everything's lined up the way it should be. So everything's upright and even. And when you turn it around, you can clearly see what direction the nose of the Queen. Now, some people don't even use the nose of the Queen as the reference point, but I think it's a good option because it's a point. It's a point that sort of points out and it can sort of point to a point on the clock. Whereas some people just use the top of the coin, but there's nothing really to reference to make sure it's, you know, like pointing in a particular direction. Because also in that book right there, it references that people try to collect the half hours as well, because the actual mistake is not pointing to particular hours of the clock. It can point to sort of in between as well. So this one here, I've sort of marked this at about 11:30, and how I've done that is I've sort of referenced it against other ones. So where's my 11 o'clock? So if I get my 11 o'clock at the top here, and I put it so that it's sort of right on top of each other. So 11 o'clock, it's sort of pointing on a diagonal like that, whereas this one's pointing more of a sharper incline. So I'm going 11:30 on that one. I've also got one here that I've sort of put down as 11:45. So if I check this one against the 11:30, it'd be at a sharper angle. Just try and make sure it's all sort of even. So that one's about there, and this one's even closer to 12 o'clock, so 11:45. And yeah, it sort of references in that book that some people try to collect the quarter hours as well. So I wasn't aiming for it. I was just trying to aim for 1 hour intervals, so one for each hour. But when you buy them online, it's hard to know exactly what you're getting until you actually get them and put them into a holder. So it is what it is. But yeah, it's handy if you just use the nose as a reference guide. But yeah, these coins are really cool. I love them. I reckon it's really interesting, and lots of other people do too. But yeah, if you're interested in knowing more about error coins, the book here, it's good to describe different sorts of errors that you can find in the minting process. It has pictures of some of those coins. It doesn't have pictures of every coin. And the reason for that is that you can pretty much get an error on any coin in any location. So the book would be endless of pictures of all sorts of different errors. So it's more about describing the sorts of errors that you can find. And you can see here I've got lots of markings of different pages, sticky notes that I sort of refer to just to check on errors, because I personally get lots of questions, which is totally understandable, because when you're starting out, you're not too sure. And even myself, I refer to this book, I open it up and have a bit of a look just to sort of read descriptions to see which category it sort of fits into. If there's a coin that's got something that's a bit unusual on it, to try and place what sort of error it is, and then you can sort of go from there. But this book's available through the link in my account to the Rennick site where you can pick it up. But yeah, the coin value list, if you're after the most recent selling price ranges of coins, coin value lists are linked through there too. But the error coins rotations, I reckon they're really cool. I'm trying to collect the whole clock set, and I'm getting a little bit closer. I'm still missing a few more hours on the clock. That's my main goal, and then who knows, I might go into the half hours and quarter hours like I've sort of got here, but that wasn't my initial intention. But good luck with your searches. Now, I suppose one thing I will say, these coins, it sort of said in the book there about the pin sort of shearing off, which can cause this error. Some years are sort of known for it, and the 2001 $1 coins are quite well known for that, so that's a good way of knowing what to look for. But there are some other years that can have rotation errors too. So yeah, it's not, yeah, so mainly the 2001 $1 coin, but there's lots of different years it can happen on, but this is probably the most common for decimal coins to keep an eye out for. But good luck with your searches. Hopefully you find a few to add to your collection, and let me know how you go.